Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper, the only fantasy football app made for fans by fans. This is the show where we take a look into the details and goings-ons in our league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing?
Ed, it's another week, another loss for both of us. It's starting to really get numbing for me. I don't know about you, especially with doing this podcast and just getting our asses handed to us week in, week out, having to bring a bright face. I kind of feel like what's Step Brothers when they show up to the job interview, the football coaches in suits, and they're like, "This is hilarious," and then they fart, and then they're like, well, now it seems a little fucked up. Like now it just sucks. Now it just sucks having to bring a bright face into this after losing all the time. I've scored the third most points in the league behind Binks a lot and Get Golf My Lawn. Jack, that's for you. But of course, I have the highest points against by a clear 52 points. I really need to get my fantasy defense like changed in check. Something we need to do meetings because I'm going to need some help to get out of this rut that I'm in. It's tough.
It definitely is depressing. It's definitely hard to have to look through every person's team and say, wow, they've got a lot of potential. And then you look at your own and you say, I'll be lucky to hit 100. Yeah. Nothing.
Just like this ASICS special sports book hit 100 that neither of us did.
That was
I'm glad that it wasn't me because I didn't want people to think that I was in cahoots. So I think there was four. Me, you, Kyle, and Chase. Chase didn't either. I don't think.
Yes, it was 50%. Maybe who knows? Maybe the odds will change. Maybe there'll be a better, not a great week.
But I already checked the book. There's no specials this week. I'm sorry, but yeah.
But I just want to start off by giving a public apology to a dear league member. Sometimes I think we're too hard on him. We poke fun. We do stuff. We just pile on and pile on and pile on. We haven't really respected his team, respected his game. I'm sure you know who we're talking about. Get Goff My Lawn. Let's go into the first week 7 recap because boy, has he commanded respect. Get Goff My Lawn. I want to say I'm sorry because looking at your team, you're shutting everyone up. Not only do you have great players in Mahomes, Tyreek, and AJ Brown, you're putting people like Deontay Foreman in that are putting up 30 points. That's just he was on Kevin's roster on Friday. He dropped him. I thought about picking him up on Saturday. You did. You played him. He got 30 points. Hats off to you. He beat RJ.
Coaching.
Truly. He beat RJ 167-98, a thrashing. RJ never stood a chance. Even if Bijan could have gotten more than a carry, wouldn't have mattered going up against Jack like that. RJ, what do you have to say?
What the hell happened to Bijan? Apparently he had a headache. That's it. The NFL's investigating because he wasn't on the injury report. Like that, like you have to do that, Arthur Smith. But yeah, no, regardless, it doesn't matter what he would have done. It was a shitty week. Jack chewed me up, spit me out. Get Goff My Lawn has made me eat my words. I can't have a headache hold back one of my main running backs. I need a quarterback that scores over 20 points and a defense that scores positive. I can't get all that together with Jack stud receivers, Mahomes. If he just has one running back even score 20 points, I really don't see him losing. I just can't see it now. I am so bought into this tandem at wide receiver, Mahomes, and just one running back. All you need is one. If you have that, it's great coaching. That's what it is, really.
It's explosive, and boy, is it entertaining. And man, I just want to root for the guy. He's got that childlike joy. You just want to root for him.
He's just giggling listening to this. Get Goff My Lawn.
Well, looking at the next matchup, we had Trevor beating Kyle 116-98. That was 2 trade pieces, Mark Andrews and Pacheco, giving Trevor 35 points. Talk about amazing value. Just like Chris Olave, Kyle is in trouble. I mean, I
Hmm.
guess positives, you could see Jahmyr Gibbs got him 20
Yeah.
points, but if you're looking at it, Kyle's team has been looking better. Like on paper, it looks good with Josh
Oh,
Allen,
it looks
Eckler, Chris
fantastic.
Olave, Devonta Smith. Like you're looking at a
Tony
great team on
Pollard.
paper, but no one has been able to put together a full week. It's been rough for Kyle. What do you think about that loss?
Yeah, I mean, Eckler got 46 total yards on 15 touches for Kyle. That is not what you want to see. Mark Andrews, like you said, coming off that trade with Binks a lot, really, really showing up well. Trevor also has massive issues at quarterback, even worse than me. But his team's really coming into his own, obviously, besides that quarterback position. And that was a big win for him to get out of the current come game. So that was massive.
That was
He's on
huge.
a
And let's
he's
just
on a
say,
streak. He's on a good streak.
since being on the podcast, Trevor's been on a 3-game win streak. That is insane. He said he had hope, and boy, is he back.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the next game, we've got Chase beating me in a thriller on Monday night. Let's just say I was checking the notifications, crossing my fingers, but boy, did TJ Hawkinson really put in a monster game. 11 catches, 87 yards. That one just hurt to see. Looking at my own team, maybe some positives. Aaron Jones got some touches.
Yeah,
Not
Ted,
That's a
Ted,
rough
it's
positive.
another it's another 0-7 for you on the breakdown. Overall struggles through the whole lineup. What do you think this issue is?
Honestly, I think it's my stubbornness in thinking if I trade Saquon for pieces, if I trade Derrick Henry, I'm just afraid they'll go off because those two I feel like are my only valuable trade pieces,
Yeah,
and I'm just scared. I'll say it. I've
but
had
but
several offers. I don't know. I'm hoping to be patient, ride it out.
yeah, you want to see the
But
tides turn, but so far they just aren't turning.
they're not turning, and they don't really look to be turning.
I wouldn't. What would you even be looking for if you're trying to trade a Derrick Henry or a Saquon?
I
Are
think
you
I
looking for
definitely
wide
need
receiver help?
I definitely need a wide receiver one. If you're looking at my wide receivers, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, uh, T.
They
Higgins.
haven't
I mean,
performed well.
they
Yeah,
would have it
T.
would have been a great team 2 years ago. Would have been
Yeah.
wonderful 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Got to stop living in the past.
How's Herbert been? I'm not sure. I know last week he did
Last week was his
horrible.
only down week. He
Oh,
scored
okay.
20 plus every week. This week dropped a
Okay.
dud, had 13.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, but
great, but
personally, I was shocked that Chase ended up starting AJ Dillon. I don't really know the situation in Green Bay. I wasn't really familiar with that touch share that he had, but he looked fantastic and he played more than Aaron Jones, which
he
is
really did.
shocking to me. I had no idea. And with Chase's stud receivers too, because Chase has stud receivers, that is a sneaky team to look out for. He's now over 500. One of three teams, I believe, that's over 500.
Yes,
Um,
somehow Chase is
yeah,
barely scraped by this week. His quarterback was his highest score at 17 points. No one scored above that. He did what
sounds
he
pretty
needed to win.
even.
He
Yeah,
did what he
team
needed to
effort.
do to
Team
win.
effort.
It was a good, a win's a win.
Yeah.
And speaking of a win, uh, we had team beat Sir Binks a lot. Monty's team had Kua and Cup with down weeks. He just couldn't recover with that. Team was carried hard by Hertz, Kelsey, this guy named Josh Palmer. I had to look up that guy. Puka. Is it sustainable? Does anyone really care? I don't know. RJ, do you have anything to say about this matchup?
I just want to put it on record. I don't think anything I said last week was false about team. The running back still couldn't hold Bink-Salot's jock straps, all of his running backs' jock straps. As you look head to head at each running back's counterparts across from each other, Bink-Salot's outscored every single one.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing was receivers. Josh Palmer, like you said, wasn't expecting that, but he had a great outing. Puka came back to what he was pre-cup. Yeah, like you said, is that sustainable? It'll be interesting because that it seems extremely volatile because, you know, they're both kind of wide receiver twos on their respective teams. You would think maybe Puka is the new Cup. I don't know. They're now 1-1 since Cup's been back. Cup's had a big week. Puka's had a down week. Now Puka good week. Cup down week. Are they going to be able to even each other out instead of one receiver getting 20, one receiver getting 5? Are they going to be able to both be sustainable every week, guys, where they're both getting 12, 15 points? I don't know. And I mean, the biggest thing was that round 1 pick, Travis Kelce. With Taylor Swift in the stadium, he's gone for over 100 receiving yards each game, and without her, he's averaging 46 yards. So if they break up, all hell's gonna break loose for team. It might get ugly, but with her there is massive. Binks a lot. I still don't think he has much to worry about, except maybe that touch share with Swift and Gainwell.
Hold on. You said it.
Oh, someone's in the studio.
Name. Hold on. Wait, what is this? Binks a lot's in that. We were just talking about your matchup.
Have no fear. Binky is here.
What is that? What is that hat?
It's Halloween, baby. It's Halloween. It's spooky season. Spooky.
Well, Sir Binks a lot. What do you have to say about your matchup with team this week?
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. The Binky hasn't slept this week. It's been a big, big week. Basically, been getting a lot of texts, a lot of emails. People have been saying, this was the David and Goliath. This was the big one. And honestly, I woke up and I was like, I like to think of myself as a sacrifice this week, a sacrifice for the greater good. We called this one the Civil War matchup, and the South rose. The South rose this time. It's been a hard couple days, but I'm trying to sleep at night. I'm getting a couple hours here and there, and I don't really know what to do. I feel kind of like a prisoner in my own home. I don't know what to do. We have not been binking.
Deep.
We haven't been binking ever since this horrible loss. But like I was saying, it was a sacrifice. I feel like a sacrificial offering, like Jesus on the cross. And
wow.
He died on the cross for our sins, and Binks a lot had to give up a loss this week to realize that Lamar Jackson is the best fucking quarterback in the goddamn league. So I can wake up, I feel freaking fine. We've been binking even harder after this freaking loss. I wake up, I bink. I go to sleep, I bink. I'm binking in between. There's a beginning, there's an end, there's a binkening. And the big binks are out. We've got a big matchup this week. The villain, the self-proclaimed villain, he struck this week. We couldn't out-bink him. Unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey, with his oblique injury that I mentioned, was
his obink.
He couldn't out-bink them. But really, it came down to the quarterback position. I trusted Tua with all of my heart, and he didn't follow through this week. But you know what? Sometimes you have to give up a little to get a lot. And I woke up feeling like my team's stronger than ever now. Absolutely a powerhouse still. So we lost 1 week, but we will win the battle. The North will rise. The cream always rises to the top. So yeah, we've given up a lot. We're going to get a lot. We're going to binks
a lot. I do have a few questions for you, but I do believe producers are saying we have a commercial coming up, so I'll have to bring them back up to you after this short break, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we will be right back from this commercial. Thank you to our sponsors. Please patronize them. Here we are. Thanks for keeping the lights on. We'll be right back.
You out all night long playing around.
Playing, Mama, playing.
Hanging out with that bad crowd.
They're called the bad boys.
And now you say you're gonna work it out.
Work out, Mama. I'm going to work out.
Mama, I'll be okay. Got my gel.
Who is Jill?
My Asics gel.
Asics Gel Cross Trainers.
Isaiah, don't forget your shoes.
Asics Gel Cross Trainers, now available at Foot Locker.
Welcome back. Thank you to our sponsor once again. RJ, you were leading us off. You had some questions for Sir Binks-a-Lot.
Binky, quick question. One thing, I really don't think your team has much to worry about, but one thing was that snap share with DeAndre Swift and Kenneth Gainwell. I really didn't see this coming. I don't know if you saw, but Swift had a lot of carries, but he only had 65% of the carries, unlike his upper 80% of the carries on the team. Kenneth Gainwell, I believe, had 7 or 8 carries to, I don't have it written down. I think Swift had like 14, 15. So it was a little, are you worried at all about that? Or you still feel okay? I think that was just how the game plan, how it's set up that week.
Yeah, honestly, RJ, I've been sleeping like an absolute baby.
But didn't you? I believe you just said that you haven't slept at all. Like right before the commercial, didn't you just say you haven't
like a
slept
baby
at all?
that hasn't gotten its bottle? That's how I've been sleeping.
So what? You haven't been sleeping at all?
Like a baby, RJ, like a baby. As far as
Babies don't sleep well.
have you fucking seen a baby before? RJ, I am not worried about DeAndre Swift, okay? He had an off week. The game script wasn't necessarily in our favor. Phillies had to do a lot this week. The run game wasn't probably being implemented as much as it, could have been because with such a dominant performance from AJ Brown in the receiving core. So it was just an awkward game, an awkward week. I feel like he's still averaging 5 yards a carry. I'm really not worried about him moving forward.
Okay.
But things could change. Kenneth Gainwell could make a run for our money. Who knows? Pick him up, maybe somebody.
I think he's on team beep if he hasn't dropped him.
The nefarious one.
And then one other
match
point.
up, he can start Kenneth Gainwell. I'll start DeAndre Swift, and we'll see how the week goes.
Ooh. All right, I'd love to see it. One more point. I think this might have been circa 2015, 2016. I had on my team both Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Okay.
Yep.
And they were quarterbacks 1 and 2, and I made a trade with the commissioner, Trevor, for Lamar, I believe, for Michael Thomas. I want to say it was 2015, 2016. Not sure if I could be completely off on the years. But I think I won the championship that year. Having 2 really good quarterbacks in Tua and Lamar, have you thought about trading one to someone that, hey, might need a quarterback?
Who needs a quarterback?
It worked out.
Who would that be?
Who?
I mean, you might be looking at him. You might be looking at
Me?
someone that needs a quarterback. No.
Me?
Well,
I can only see myself.
maybe a 3-way trade. Maybe a 3-way trade. You can send me Herbert. I don't know. We might need to discuss this off camera. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
I don't know. Slide into my DM.
Overall,
I'm always down to talk.
I believe I actually did slide into your DMs, and you laughed at me when I asked
Did
if
I?
you wanted to trade. You said, "Ha ha ha! I'm Gucci, or I'm okay," or something like that.
I
With a
started
smiley
paying
face.
Gucci back in 2016.
Oh,
Say I'm Versace now.
maybe you said you're Versace. But yeah, overall, looking at the breakdown, get off my lawn.
You
Thanks
want
a lot,
Tua?
you.
Do you want Tua? I'm asking you right now.
Give me Tua.
Okay. I will drop him for 5 minutes at a random time in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Keep your eyes peeled, and if you catch him, you can have him. Mark my
All
bets.
right.
That's huge. Let
All
everyone
right,
know
well,
that
overall,
better watch the podcast. Overall, keep moving on.
Yeah, nope. You look at the breakdown. Get off my lawn. Binks a lot. You have a chokehold on the league looking at the breakdown. Going into the second half, I think it should be interesting to see how well that stays true or if anyone ends up joining them. Who knows?
Really a lot to happen. And let's talk about a lot happening. One of my favorite parts of the week, Kyle's stat of the week. This was a fun one. Kyle showed everyone's NFL doppelganger that not only did they have the same record, they had the same win-loss. This was before this week, so we can see how everyone did. Jack matched up close with the Lions. That broke. Jack kept running. Lions got trounced. Yep. Chase matched up with the Colts and the Steelers. Chase won while the Colts lost. Steelers were on a bye. Who knows? Kyle matched up with the Chargers. I don't know. Did the Chargers win? I should probably know. Chargers lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And Kyle lost. That's still alive. I'm still alive with the Commanders. Team bleep matched up with the Titans. They had a bye. Who knows? Monty, you were closest with the 49ers. They've had a rough loss each time you've had a rough loss. So I think that matchup is pretty close because you've got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of weapons. RJ, your closest was the Raiders, and they got blown out this week. That one matches up. Trevor was the closest. Real well. Trevor was the closest with the Bears, and I think it's the same sort of thing. What do you guys think about your comparisons? I feel pretty bad being compared to the Commanders, but it does feel about right. Oh, Monty is gone.
Oh, I will say about mine, it seems to reign true right now. I'm just a disappointing team, not performing as I should. Well, I mean, the Raiders might be performing. Maybe I suck. Actually, I'm performing better because the post-draft whatever recap said that I was supposed to go over and that I was just god-awful at drafting and a horrible person and human being. And so maybe I'm overperforming. I don't know. I don't think I know fantasy anymore. I don't know football. I honestly feel like I shouldn't even be on this podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm horrible. All right.
I think he's got to pay
That's
that
all
one.
I got. But Binks a lot being similar to the 49ers, that's about dead on the nose. I could see that.
Well, now let's take a look at the polls this week. Just real quick, let me check my notes. There were no polls again this week. I think it's really dropping a ball. Not to backseat poll maker over here, but looks like it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that hard. Just pop in a poll in, have a little engagement.
I believe after week 2 or week 3 that poll maker job title went to Binks a lot. If we go back and look in the archives of the podcast, that was previously made.
I think that's an unofficial thing where the official application process was for someone else. But it's fine. We're past it.
If we want to go into specifics, I do believe the people that didn't apply for a single job owed the commissioner like $10 to the pot or whatever it was to add to it. So if we want to get specific,
controversy. But let's move on it. One of our favorite segments we've had here has been the Binks a lot, Baby Back Bink, Binks of the week. Sir Binks a lot. The Travis Etienne first drive touchdown for the Jaguars was unbelievable. Do you have anything to follow that up with? Because boy, oh boy, was that a good thing.
Not just that, the premium play of Kenneth Walker leading the league in rushing yards. That was incredible that also hit.
Yeah, people they've been doubting the Bink. They want the Bink to fall. We had a lot of people laying, futures bets against Bink's success, and people just don't believe that Bink knows the game. But I'm glad to see that people saw the greatness of the Travis Etienne first drive, first touchdown, Bink. It was a great moment for the whole league. I love that people were binking up, making some money. So it was just it was a great moment. I was in the car. I was literally in the car back from the gym late night. RJ just hits the group chat with it's time for us to bink. And I feel like you were on the right page. You were on the wave. Trevor was on the wave. Kevin was on the wave. We're gonna ride this wave all the way to the top, right to Binkianapolis, Binkiana. We got some big binks coming up here in the future, and this is just one of many. I mean, the binks will be beautiful and bountiful.
Now, do you have any binks for this week? Or are you holding that off for just the premium subscribers?
You guys,
I don't want to pressure you into giving out free binks.
I didn't get to prepare binks this week. I have no binks. I will circulate the binks later.
It's because after a massive week now, everyone wants the free plays. Like I think you got to get in. It's just
you got to put it behind a paywall.
It's all it is $29.99 an hour.
Yeah,
it's really not that bad.
Yep.
When you break it down, if you're betting enough, you're gonna make that back easily.
Yeah, really. I've gone with the model of I'm making shit free, giving away binks. People have been able to bank for weeks, but now we have to put up the paywall. We have to make them premium big. So Venmo is Binky Too Stinky. You know where to find me. Banks.
Wow, that is excellent. I'm sure you'll be lit up with offers. But let us keep moving on to the week 8 preview, unless you guys have anything else. RJ, I think you might have a little something from the sportsbook on this one.
Yes, as we begin the preview of Week 8 of the 2023 ZFFFL, I must remind you of our great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL ASICS Sportsbook, ASICS Footwear. The Metaspeed Edge Plus racing shoes are designed for cadence-style runners who are looking to start fast and finish faster. Runners wearing these shoes will be able to take longer strides while conserving energy with each and every step, thanks to our energetic midsole foam and a propulsive carbon plate. The runners wearing these shoes will be able to conserve more energy while maintaining their pace at the later stages of their race. Go out and get your new Metaspeed Edge Plus racing shoe starting at only $250. ASICS. A sound mind is a sound body.
Thanks.
No bye weeks this week. No bye weeks this week. Week 8. When looking through the previews, I was writing down, no bye weeks. No bye weeks for this team. No bye week. There's just no bye weeks in the league. Didn't know that. We know now. Had to point that out. ASICS, a sound mind is a sound body.
Thank you to ASICS. Let's take a look at our first game. We've got Kyle at Teddy. I'm calling this the momentum game because both teams need some momentum. If I win, I'm at 4-4, not looking too bad. If Kyle loses, he's at 2-6, which would be pretty rough to climb out of that come hole. He's got Chris Olave arrest. Will that keep him out of the game? He was going 35 over the speed limit. Can Kyle's team put together a full performance? If they can, they look pretty good. This will be the first time in a long time that my team, Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Aaron Jones, might finally get the full lion's share of their team's running back snaps. But I could see this one going either way. But RJ, what does the sportsbook have to say for this one?
Yeah, I really wish you went to Trevor and I's matchup first because I wrote down identical situation for me and Trevor. But I guess I'll just go up, with a win to Kyle. Oh, wait. Never mind. I'll just get to it when we get to Trevor and I's matchup. But yeah, Kyle beat you the first time around, searching to bring you down to the come game with a win and 2-0 on the season lead on you. I feel like the game will really come down to if Kyle's name-wise studs, because they haven't been performing that way, running backs can show up in Tony Pollard and Austin Eckler. Devonta Smith, can he bite into that chokehold of a target share that A.J. Brown has currently with the Eagles? And then will we see the delinquent Chris Olave do anything, after get arrested for pirating and illegally distributing the Barbie movie on the dark web? Ted, very similar situation with you and your team, except for the pirating. You need your running backs to carry, but Sunday night with Justin Herbert, I think that will decide the game. If he can perform the way that he's capable, unlike last week, you might be able to get back to 500. Now, the book can't really get a good lead on this game, also expects it to be tight. We got to pick them. You and Kyle, minus 120 each.
Monty, who you got? Me or Kyle?
It's a pick 'em. That's pretty crazy. I mean, we got
Agreed.
Murphy's Law in here, pretty loaded roster right now. But
Means a
Derrick
lot.
Henry, that team
Should
is
we go-
what?
Should we look to see what you picked last week for each pick? Because you got each and every one wrong
I did?
on the podcast.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I literally think I went a 4 for 4.
And I actually see the sports book that you placed a bet, a parlay, and actually neither side hit.
Neither side?
Neither side. Oh God, that's too
We are
good.
thinking early and often, RJ.
You're like a baby.
Like
Like
a
a
baby, baby. You get it. You get it. Yeah, the Bink's just putting his voodoo curse on Teddy this week then. Because I'm saying Teddy's winning this week, baby. Teddy's winning by a
Easy.
landslide victory.
Oh, I don't like that. How that sounds.
It's going to be ugly for Kyle. I mean, RJ, this week we got like a pretty tough matchup. We got Saquon's looking good though. Derrick Henry, he's been kind of seeing a lesser and lesser role in the offense, which like kind of slightly concerning. They don't know whether
I've heard some trade rumors.
Yeah,
I've heard some trade rumors.
I'm hearing tank rumors. I'm hearing we don't care about this guy rumors. We're gonna give him to Buffalo rumors.
Tajay's getting close to 60% of the snaps right now.
Right.
He's
no one
becoming the lead back. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, no one would have expected that. You got Scary Terry and Rashee Rice at wide receiver. I mean, Terry's going to do his thing. Rashee has been seeing a boosted involvement in that offense, which is nice to see. But Aaron Jones, that's kind of a big question mark right now because even when healthy, he's not really doing his Aaron Jones thing.
AJ Dillon was the lead back last week.
Yeah, I think the Mysterious Villain said that he hated that pick of Aaron Jones, and maybe some validity there. I don't know.
Week one, it didn't seem that way, but since then, it kind of has. But I believe you were just talking about how stacked his roster was, and now you just seem to completely diminishing it.
Oh no, we're doing the reverse Binks-a-lot inverse Kramer index. So
you think it ends in a tie?
Law is going to win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. If we don't, we can move on to our next matchup. We've got Jack playing Beep, and what I like to call the villains matchup. Both of these two teams have sort of, they haven't been on the good side of league discourse lately. But looking at Jack, can he keep his magic alive? Those wide receivers are looking nice. Tyreek, AJ Brown, they are just getting catches. They're running. They're getting touchdowns. It's insane. Can Bleep's team continue to scrape by, relying on a lot of wide receivers too? Not the starting wide receiver, not the wide receiver one on their team. Puka and Addison, who knows exactly? One thing for this one, you've got Kelsey versus Mahomes. Will that even out the matchup? How does the sportsbook think that'll go? RJ, how do you think the sportsbook thinks about this one?
Yep, still not doing the preview for me and Trevor. That's okay, and you took half of my notes, but yeah, Beep is still only one game out from the last place game, so this really is a big matchup for him. Get Goff My Lawn got the best of him the first time around, like he did everyone in the league besides, do you know who? It was you, Teddy.
It was me. I beat Jack week 2.
You beat Get Golf My Lawn. You're the one that gave him the one.
I've got this.
With the way Get Golf My Lawn's playing right now, you got to expect him to win, really. But Can Donta Foreman replicate 3 touchdowns? You know, how much longer is this 150 yards and a touchdown streak going to go for A.J. Brown? You know, is Waddle going to dig more and more into Tyreek's target share? You know, if anyone can formulate a game plan to stop Tyreek, it would be this week against the New England Patriots with Bill Belichick. You know, on the other hand, with A.J. Brown, you know, I did not know this, but not a single player has averaged more points than him the last 4 weeks. And they played the Commanders, who have given up the most points to wide receiver ones over the last 4 weeks. So we might see a nuclear 50-point performance from A.J. Brown. You know, the biggest question mark for Beep is that running back snap share, really. You know, right now he has Kareem in the flex, I see. Or is he going to, you know, get more snaps? You know, Jerome Ford, I believe he's out officially. I'm not sure. Or will it be a committee with Pierre Strong Jr.? James Cook's snap share the last 4 games has hovered right around 50% to be a complete committee with Latavius Murray. The Puka Cup target share, you know, what's that going to look like? Jordan Addison, you know, hell of a Monday night game last week, but can you replicate it? A lot of question marks going into this matchup. Really, a lot of question marks. I believe the book is right with this one, giving Get Goff My Lawn as the favorite, but not as much as some might think. You know, they really are respecting Beep's team, but are they respecting it too much, or are they disrespecting Get Goff My Lawn? Get Goff My Lawn minus only 2.5.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Monty, what do you think about this one?
Money line, Jack minus, or Get Goff My Lawn minus 125, Beep minus 115.
Sure, Big Slot, what you think?
Yeah, the Big Slot take here. We got Get Goff My Lawn, who has been him this entire season. He has been an absolute juggernaut. Everybody's saying his team doesn't have the firepower. It's only Tyreek. But week after week, this guy is absolutely massacring teams.
And Bink, both of your losses have been to these 2 guys, so you know them very well.
I know them intimately.
Yeah.
I've studied them. I've been in the lab with them intimately for hours, just trying to see where things went wrong.
And I do believe we have a hard 12 more minutes.
Pretty much.
Sure. I got you. Patty's going up against Denver, going to post monstrous numbers. Tyreek against the stout New England D. Not exactly what you want to see, but Tyreek's pretty pissed about his loss last week. But I have to put some respect on Beep's name in this instance. We got Travis Kelce. He's also going to be going against Denver, obviously, and he's looked great lately ever since the Taylor Swift relationship kicked off. And Jalen Hurts against, you know, Washington D, but he's ironically hurt this week. So we're gonna have to take him, the hardest to beat, Get Goff My Lawn, Jack, with the points to win this week.
Wow, that is everyone's on the Get Goff My Lawn wagon right now. Now, the next matchup, I think someone's been waiting to talk about it. We've got Monty versus Chase in the Prove Yourself matchup, is what I'm calling it. Monty at 5-2, Chase at 4-3. Can Monty separate? Will Chase separate above the pack? Monty has had a bad 3-week stretch. He's gone 1-2. It's been pretty rough, but his team is at as full power as it can be. Looks like Christian McCaffrey is listed as a full participant. Darren Waller's questionable. I think his team's looking good. Chase really needs his wide receivers to reach their full potential, but if they can, I think this week might be his by, you know, more points than you might give him against a team like Monty's. But what does the sportsbook think?
Yeah, again, you know, you took pretty much all my notes. But yeah, Binks a lot, like you said, has now dropped 2 of his last 3, but Chase has won 2 out of his last 3. You know, so the momentum is on Chase's side. Like I sort of mentioned earlier, the Cooper Kupp and DeAndre Swift, their snap shares, target shares, rushing shares, whatever you may like to use. It's a question mark. That's what it is on that team. But like tons of firepower. But one thing I do see, Banks-a-lot has 0 D. Banks-a-lot has no D.
Ooh.
Or he has a
Banks-a-lot,
D in his B. He has a
you're
D in his
exactly
B.
correct. You are 100% right. I saw last week how the no D method tends to pay off. So I put my
Ooh.
D in my B this week in hopes that we can bounce back. I'm willing to try anything. The Banks-a-Lot team has been desperately scrambling for ways to bounce back. As you guys mentioned, I've lost 2 of my last 3. And we're starting to forget how
when you lose
this
2 of your
feels.
last 3, when you lose 2 of your last 3, you put a D in your B. That's what my grandma used to always tell me. So
I'm pretty sure it was in a Dr.
how it
Seuss book
goes.
or something.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Green eggs and ham, maybe.
Green eggs and ham. Red fish, blue fish, 1 fish, 2 fish, D in my B, fish.
When you lose 2 out of 3.
Did we get the line for that one?
No,
Mr.
we
Sportsbook?
didn't. But the book still loves Banks-a-lot after everything being said. Book still loves Banks-a-lot. We got Banks-a-lot as the biggest favorite this week at -4.5. Binky minus 150 money line. Chase minus 110.
So what do you
got
think
on that one?
Eddie?
Yeah,
about
Ted,
that
what do you
one?
I
think?
can't comment on this. The Binky's been too stinky lately.
It sounds like
an expert
sounds like
opinion.
he's on Chase.
Sounds like the Binky's a little scared. I think, I don't like seeing just based off that, I don't like seeing a coach stand off like that. I want to see you talking about that 20-point alternate line. I could see Chase, just like I said, I think it's all dependent on his wide receivers. If Jamar Chase remembers who he is, he can put up 20 points. If Devontae can get someone to throw him the ball, do I see that happening? Probably not. I'd take Monty 4.5 on that one.
Wait, but you are never mind.
I said if his wide receivers can do it, but thinking about it now, who's throwing the ball? I'm just not seeing it. Well, moving on to our last matchup. Everyone wants to talk about it. We've got Trevor versus RJ in the momentum game part 2. Trevor at 3-4 on a 3-game win streak. RJ at 2-5. He's been dropping them like they're hot. Can Trevor's well-balanced team keep him rolling? Will he start any Bengals players? He's been looking good since he stopped doing that. RJ, you need to get your QB situation under wraps. Is Jordan Love the guy? Which are you looking at, Bijan or Brian Hall? What are you looking at for that?
Brian Hall? You think Brees Hall?
Brees Hall. Excuse me.
I might start Brian Hall, his evil twin. No, but yeah, this is a massive matchup. I feel like every week is a big week for me. It's almost a must win, especially now that I'm in the come game. And it starts right off Thursday night. A big matchup at the wide receiver position with Stephon Diggs on his side and Mike Evans on my side. Kamara has done extremely well for Marlboro Joes, since coming off his suspension. I did beat Trevor week 1 of the season, so this is a big game for both of us, even though he has a game on me, because if I win, I bring Trevor back down even, with the come game totals, and then being down to me 0-2. It's tough when those tiebreakers come into account late in the season. You really can't go 0-2 against someone. A win for Trevor would just, further separate himself from the come game, give him tons more momentum going into the second half. I do believe this one will be tight, and it's going to come down to not the main positions. It's going to come down to the QBs and the defenses. Because Trevor's also been struggling at quarterback. I don't believe he's had a quarterback score 20 points, and I've only had a quarterback score 20 once, and he actually got 40. And then with my defense is always scoring negative. I don't know, but the sportsbook agrees with me that it's going to be a close one. It has it as a pick 'em.
Wow, Monty, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I think it was good analysis. I mean, your point to the fact that the auxiliary positions are going to be playing kind of the primary factor is 100% spot on. And I mean, we got Jordan Love in the lineup right now. You can't be loving his play too much recently. I remember telling you about this on Sunday. I mean, it was an atrocious performance. And then Kirk looked great in primetime yesterday. So Pacheco's got a great matchup against Denver.
Very good.
It's a very good matchup. Mark Andrews versus Arizona. That offense looked absolutely stellar last week. So I have to choose RJ. RJ's going to sweep him.
What?
Travis Etienne
Nice.
has looked incredible.
Nice.
Keenan Allen is going up against Chicago. He is a dead man walking. Jordan Love can't stay bad for too long. RJ is bringing him into the slaughterhouse.
Also, my long-term solution, hopefully, I did pick up Kyler Murray, and he is sitting on my bench now, waiting for him to come back. It's sort of a last resort type of thing.
That's a bold choice.
But I did see historically any year that Kyler, which has been 2, that he has played 14 or more games, he has finished as a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. And at the point of last year, pre-injury, he was top 7. So, hopefully that's a long-term solution. But the thing is I don't have much time to wait anymore. I need wins now.
Yeah.
And I don't really have an answer for that unless, that Tua deal ends up coming through. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, try to send RJ a smoke signal. Just to pick up the man Kyler. He decoded the message, so we're gonna see how that ends up binking out. I'm really interested to see once he comes back into that offense, can the Cardinals 180 their performances? We'll see. They'll have a healthy James Conner coming back. Kyler could look like a totally new team. So only time will tell.
Wow. And that is all the time we have. Thank you both for being here. Monty, thank you for being a reliable guest, entertaining guest, bringing
someone that actually
wants
to be on.
Actually wants to be on, talk about this league, just chop it up with the fellas,
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Much.
No one else in this league is asking for that, trying to get on, but every week, we know you have you. So if you want to be on, just let us know. Send RJ and I a group text.
Please.
We always respond fast.
To anyone that texts us, we are always responding.
No matter what. But as always, thank you all for listening to Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure to get those bets in before the Thursday night game. Make sure to follow us on all social platforms at ZFFFLFF Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, fuck you, Trevor.